Obviously, if you're rowing baits out, if you run them out a real long way, then you've got to have like big reels with the capacity to sort of be able to row out that sort of distance. But for for most normal size, I say normal size lakes, this is quite small compared with some French waters. But I had the first bite on that long margin down here. I placed the rod along that sort of close-in margin, just off the bottom of the shelf. Yeah. But as you know, it cut me off.
Yeah, it's a shame.
The problem is when you've got any branches trailing in the water, you've very often got they're sort of smothered in little mussels and little pea mussels, zebra mussels, and sort of razor sharp and just cut your line in no time.
Lots of good fish and all that.
Yeah, it felt good. But then there was a strange occurrence. I could hear. I went straight back to sleep. I could hear all this buzzing going on. I thought, Frank Warwick slept through a bite. So I came out. I was looking for you everywhere. And I heard you shout, and you was right over there. I could see you right over the other side. Just see your green light on your head torch. And
yeah, that was strange. What happened was because it was late when we got here, I'd been using the imitation plastic Enterprise
corn.
Corn. Been catching a lot of fish on it, and quite taken with it. And I thought, what the hell, I'm going to try it for these French fish, I'll give it a go for them, see if it works. I was curious about it working in the dark, so I got the same rigs on as I'd used at Horseshoe a few weeks previous, or a week previous. So I put them out, baited up, and got a run on my right-hand rod, and it steamed left. It wasn't even a run, it was sort of like single bleeps, and the fish was kiting really fast, and it took out two of my other rods. Obviously, you were tired from the journey because you'd done the driving. Yeah. So I got out and carnage unfolded. I'd got 3 lines all wrapped round each other coming through the rings onto the reel, so I had to do a little bit of messing about, And I was scared of you striking whilst I was playing a fish, with this big mess. Anyway, got that one out, and it's a nice start. It was
lovely looking fish. Yeah, and nice way to start the week, 38.8. Yeah. And then I had another bite from that margin rod, and same thing again, cut me off on the main line this time. That felt a real good fish, in our pool. And then I decided, we sat about for a while and decided to sort of have a little stalk around the other side. And it's quite funny. I mean, we chose this swim. When we first came here and had a look round, we saw a few fish over the other side.
Near the point? The bay near the point.
Yeah, but I mean, we decided on this side really, because it's nearest to the fridge and the beer. No, not really. No, we chose this swim. It's a good starting point, really, and with a view to sort of leaving that area as a stalking area.
Untouched, yeah.
And when I first went round there, first time I went round, I baited up a couple of little spots, just a couple of little likely looking spots, and with a view to come back, got the rod, went round there, and I had a little fish for in the far corner first, but they wouldn't quite. Well, I'd fish straight away, go down on some bait, before I had a rig there. Yeah. So I fished for that for a little while, but didn't actually come back. And then actually, I suppose I spent about an hour around there, and then I just happened to walk along the bank and saw 3 fish tight in under this bush, or just in a gap in the bush, a tiny little sort of hole in the bush. So I was snuck in there, waited for them to move off, and using one of those, the sliding like lock slide floats.
You'll have to let everyone have a look at that later.
Yeah, they're dead handy because you haven't got. You can just go from swim to swim, haven't got to mess about finding depths or anything, with a float. And it was really exciting stuff. I was crept in there, and they kept sort of coming in the fish, and it's funny really. I saw 3 fish come in, and I thought, any minute now, and they just moved off. They just moved off to the left, and I thought, oh, well, they're gone. And I just had to sort of look around like that. As I looked back, I just see the float go sailing away. But it was real good old fight, because I was underneath the tree, and I couldn't, because of the restrictions, I couldn't actually lift the rod.
Well, when I came round to have a look at the fish and do the photos and that, I couldn't believe the size of the little canopy that you'd had to play. It was nothing.
It was real exciting stuff. But I must admit, when I first sort of looked at the fish, I thought it was well over 40 pounds. I'm getting wet pants, but I got him. Be honest with you, weighed 30, tad over 33 pound. Yeah. but to be honest, when I look at it, I still would have put money that it was a £40 plus. Massive frame fish, you know? Just didn't have the width to go with it.
It was weird, wasn't it? It was really,
really narrow.
Not narrow shouldered, but it weren't thick set.
Yeah, I mean, that one of yours was sort of, you know,
chunky on it across the shoulders, yeah.
And then, well, the rest is sort of, we were talking about, we was telling you how we both like to catch our sort of personal best European carp, and well, take it away.
Well, it was all sort of almost like a dream, really. What time was it? We'd been having a chat with Luke and Len and everything, you know, enjoying ourselves, and we get everything set and done. And it must have been what, 12:30?
Yeah.
1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
One of my rods on the plateau out there, they're baited quite heavy. In fact, we'd used a big mixture of different particles, nuggets, boilies, a couple of different sizes and types. Maggots, you'd had the common dog to bring, what, about 3 gallon?
Well, about 5 gallon, yeah.
5 gallon, yeah. So we froze them and we thought, right, let's go for it, let's try it. So we put them in and thinking it, you know, really get the fish feeding, and it worked. And got a run, got out there in the dark, went out with Luke in the boat, and I thought, this feels good. It was an absolute rip snorting take. Stripped tons of line off me, and I thought I'd better get in the boat here to avoid the weed, and got the old green headlight going again. I had a look at it, I thought, oh Jesus Christ, I couldn't believe what I was looking at, you know. And it was quite a shock to see it was one of the main target fish, really. And you know then that you're playing a possible 60 or a big 50, and it was the fish that they call fish of two halves, the one that had been tethered by something in the past, and you know, got a great big mark on it, but it's the right character fish. And we checked it on what, 2-3 sets of scales?
2 sets of scales, yeah.
2 sets of scales, yeah. Your digital ones and Luke's, and 57.11. Yeah. So new personal best European fish, and it was euphoric with that. It was absolutely fantastic,
unbelievable.
You know? Fish of a lifetime, really.
Absolutely huge. I mean, when you look at fish of that size, they are, you know, they are breathtaking, aren't they? You know.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting, really, because we were doing a comparison with your Conningbrook record fish, you know, and it was interesting to when you see the photos with yourself for that fish, you can't really gauge how big it must be, and that was like a yardstick to, you know. Yeah. But he says yours look bigger than the...
slightly, it's slightly, but it's difficult. I think that fish is actually probably deeper than the fish you had, but I think the Conningbrook one's wider and a bit longer as well, you know. But even so, I mean, that's 58, or nearly 58 pound, you know, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, well,
so you was well made up with that one.
Yeah, so we had a little celebration, which was quite interesting.
Yeah. And should we go and see if we can find Luke and have a little chat about?
Yeah, we could do.
Yeah, ask him a little bit about the lake,
the history of it, as far as he can tell. Let's have a look for food. Quick, Jacob, get a bait in that margin. That's fantastic, isn't it?
Well, here we are with Luke, and well, Luke, you're normally associated with catfishing, and you know, but you've acquired these wonderful carp lakes. Tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, Leon, I got the lakes. I've been looking for lakes quite a while. About 3 years I was looking. I actually started the catfish business in France, and that was what I could term that as a leapfrog stepping stone business, if you like.
Yeah.
as a means to get me in France to try and find a carp lake. It took me 3 years. At the end of that 3 years, I found this place, like by chance, you know.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And what a result! I mean, what a lovely water.
With the carp already here?
Yeah, all the carp. We've not stocked it. I've not stocked it myself. This is how I found it.
Yeah.
The only work I've done